Hi guys, welcome back for another John Christian studio session. This time a little bit more in depth about EQing. I'm going to go back to my last example, what I was using when I was doing the layering. So I'm going to take back the layers, EQ them a little bit more, even improve the stereo image of it. And so let's take it from here. Here was my little example of what I was layering with, and it sounds like this. We have a few synthesizers and an EQ here, and now I'm going to spice it up with some EQing. Basically, I have already set my filters, my high and low pass filters. And so that is not what I'm going to do in a second EQ, because normally I use 2 or maybe 3 EQs on every channel. And so when I go back to this first layer, it sounds like this. Well, here I'm going to reveal a little technique that I'm using a lot, because I really like to have a wide stereo image, and when I'm going to do a chapter about mastering, there will be also a subject in mastering, but there are steps to take to create that wide stereo image, and one of them is to EQ in a wide range of stereo image. And what I mean with that is that in my mind I say I have a speaker on the left side, I have a speaker on the right side, but I also have a speaker in the middle. And so there are basically 2 channels, left and right, and the other channel is the middle. And if you really want to create that stereo image with an equalizer, you have to divide those 2 channels. And this is how I do that, and I'm going to give the example with the FabFilter Pro EQ. I know that there are a lot of EQ plugins that can have the same function, but I think in this one it's the best, and it's the most clear and easy to use. This is how I do that. This is the sound, and let's say this should be fat in the middle, so let's say around 345 Hertz. Well, then again, I take the schedule to check if it's really 345. Let's say we're on G, it should be 392. Okay, like this. But then I'm going to split, like I said, between the middle and the left and right. Split the channel, and then you see left right, so you can also use just another EQ on the left as on the right, but that's not what we're here for. We can say here the channel mode is left right, and then change that into mid side, so we have mids and we have side. If I just want to create space for a vocal or a bass line or the kick or whatever that really needs the attention the most, then we have to make everything around it. So here is the main part, and everything is around it, beside it, in the back of it, or in the front of it, or whatever. It doesn't just have to not affect the midfield of the spectrum. And so this is what's happening when I just lower the mid channel on that frequency. Now we only have this setting on the side and not in the middle. Now you can, when I bypass the plugin, you can really hear what it's doing to the stereo image here. This is normal. And now I'm going to unbypass it while playing. You hear that the focus of the sound is no longer in the middle, but it's just on the sides. And this is an easy trick to make it wider without using a stereo imager or whatever, because a stereo imager is creating a lot of phase and this is not. So this is one of the tricks which you can do with EQing instead of only coloring a sound or whatever. So this is one thing that I do with the middle frequency layer. Then we have the lower frequency layer, which is here, and it's playing this. I think for now this one sounds good. I want to jump to the organic instrument that I'm having here. Because here I would like to do the same as in the other example with the mid, side and EQ, but then in a higher frequency spectrum. So I'm basically copying the settings, but then let's say clean and do it again here. Because I really have to fresh up what's happening here, because I think the strings sound a little bit muddy. And then going to the mid side again, split it. And then only keep the stereo there and the mono not, because I have other things that have to have the attention in the middle. So this is what the result is then. This is without. And this is with it. So basically this is the way to make it sound wider. And if you play it all together, it sounds like this. So it's already starts to sound very wide, and that's what I try to achieve. So we can not only use an EQ for coloring, but also for stereo imaging. And obviously you can do a lot more, but for that you have to watch the next episode. If you have any question about this chapter, or maybe another, just go to my facebook.com/DJJohnChristian and leave your comments there.